All right. How's it going, everyone? Excuse me. That's gross. Right away. Flab. How we doing? I'm gonna wait a second here, let chat propagate and get everybody involved here. We're gonna be jumping into part 2 of my review process. Today's gonna go a little bit quicker. I don't have as much time this morning. I'll be back this afternoon with another micro stream. So we're gonna be breaking up into multiple parts, but we're gonna get this situated and set up. Oop, I gotta move that. All right. Okay, that's set up over here. Just gotta get this squared away. I'm gonna go ahead and post and let everybody know that we're going live. So let's get that share done onto Twitter. Zoot Zeeting, or what are we doing here? Let's see here. Big Jam, Big Game Jam, number 5, part 2. Sorry, guys. You'll hear me type while we're getting squared away here. All right. I'm going to the jam section here and getting that opened up while I wait for that information to go live. I'm going to go ahead and copy this information. And we're going to ship that out on Discord. Hey, Riley, how you doing? Hey, guys. I just had to get that posted so that way we can get started. Hey, howdy. How's it going? Wrong Way Games. Welcome back. Wrong Way. What was what was the title of your game again? Because I wanted to start this morning off with that title. I forgot to mark it down exactly what it was, and I was about to go digging for it. So I'm actually really glad you're here. Frisco, what's going on? Thank you for joining us. Hey, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever and wherever you are. Letters to the Lost. Yeah, okay. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, let's jump into this morning, and I've only got I got like 2 hours maybe to do some game reviews, so we're going to be moving a little bit faster than we were yesterday, but I hope to continue to give everybody a fair deal here. Let me move my setup so I can see chat and my messages, because people like to message me while I'm streaming. Okay. Here we are. Let's jump over to main screen. The moment I get water. Of course, I sit down and start the broadcast and have no water. Congratulations, Alex. You are an idiot. I'll be right back. Hey, awesome. No, I appreciate that. I'm back, by the way. I love to see, I mean, every step of the way. Feel free to share it with me whenever you'd like. We have a Discord server that is self-hosted. It's Level Up Society, where we bind together and work together to create a nice little development community. We have voice actors and voice actresses. We have other industry professionals. So if you guys are interested in getting networked in and meeting other developers that are interested in helping each other, join us on Discord and Level Up Society. I also spend all of my waking time there. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass over to the main screen here. Boom. And we're going to get started. I already booted everything up today in painfully in Google Chrome. I know that Vegetato is going to shout from the rooftops once they figure out that I'm streaming in Chrome. So we'll see what happens there. But I want to begin again with Letters to the Lost. I want to hear this whole experience because I feel like if there was an audio problem, there's definitely an opportunity here to raise the audio score. So I'm gonna give it an honest go. Let's try this one more time. And just to be clear, anybody who's watching, excellent. This is already starting. It's very loud. I'm gonna turn it down on my end so I don't turn you guys down. There we go. All right, press any key to continue. Let's check this out.
Dear Diary, I had a dream about him again, except we were kids again and he was waiting outside my yard like he used to.
I think it'd be really cute here if you raise the camera a smidge, just so we can see that Dear Diary a little bit better. I understand the closeness, and I know you have to jump up here to see it, but at every point in that, I feel like that's a really emotional part. I would like to see that really focused in on from just a polished perspective, but it's very well done. I do love the cloud and everything. Z to run. Again, we've been here. I do feel like the audio ambience does improve the experience a lot. I will say that. It makes me actually want to walk slowly, where before I didn't feel paced at all. I'm a little sad at the audio looping in such a jagged way, but otherwise, again, that's polish. No, I'm not picking on it at all. But with, hey, good evening. Good evening.
It's been years since that tornado took you from me, and still you come to me in my dreams. I never understood how my house could be completely untouched, but yours was wiped from the face of the earth.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, some Audacity improvement would definitely, working on those skills is really important. And that's something as well, if you're interested in that, we do talk about that in our Discord, because we have a lot of Suzanne and Nick and a few other folks who have credits in video games, like actual credits, myself included, from IMDb and other places like that. We do have some actors and actresses in there that are always willing to talk to you about your engineering and stuff. So if you're ever wanting to learn Audacity or Adobe Audition or something like that, that's a great place to come hang out with us and ask those questions. Don't let the tornado get you. Yeah, again, a little zoom out I think would allow everybody to read all that text, but otherwise the emotional zoom impact is much better.
I should visit you again sometime.
Oh, I like that transition. Okay.
Remember how we became friends? It was when someone pulled the fire alarm and everyone was running to get
out. The deaf children, that's right. Okay. Alright.
There were so many kids trying to run out, it was hard.
Oh no! Oh, okay, I made it. Okay.
I ended up going towards the rear exit.
Oh no! That's what happened to me last time. Oh no. Oh! cheated. Oh, that is unfortunate. Alright. Gotta wait for it to go back this way. Oh, why is Alex not good at video games? Which is nuts. Oh no! You know why? It's because all of you are watching me and you expect me to do a magic trick. Whoa, kid! Little Timmy came out of nowhere.
When I got there, you were standing next to the fire alarm and you winked at me. It wasn't until later you would tell me that you pulled it so I wouldn't have to take that history test I was stressing about.
Oh.
Remember when you'd take me to the city for our dates? There were cars everywhere, but you always held my hand when crossing the street.
Whoa. I almost got taken out. I love this, actually. What a difference.
Now when I go to the city by myself, I see that the city can't sleep without you. It's like even the fire hydrants cry for you.
Oh. Back off, hydrant. I like the tie-in to that, to the story. I have to ask you, you know, how did the ideation of this game come about?
I'll always remember the time you gave me the moon. We'd sit on top of the buildings and watch
That is
the
a personal
stars,
question, I suppose.
pretending that I gave you the
Potentially
stars
personal.
and you gave me the moon. I still look up and smile because of you.
I don't think I can reach that. Can I? No. Hey, listen here, bud. I will always remember this. Yeah. Okay. I see. I just jumped off of the entirety of that whole level. Oh, that is unfortunate. What happens if I die? Do I go back to the... No, no, man. I don't know if there's actually more this way or if I made serious mistakes in my... No, I made critical errors. Oh, I jumped off and missed it? Oh no. Okay. So maybe what you could do at that point in the game, at that exact point, so when your player eventually hits that collision point, like make an object that is invisible, that is a collision point. When your player touches that, trigger a boolean or some variable that says that they are at the end. Jump off is true, and then you build another trigger object that stretches the entire width of the screen underneath. So wherever your player falls to after you jump off, it's guaranteed to trigger. And then that's the end of you. And then trigger the last of your events. Markzoid Games, what's going on? At least that would be how I would suggest handling that, to make sure that if they make it to the end, that would be my best guess. So is this actually the end here? This part? Oh, I missed the trigger. I see.
But time moves on without you, and it
Whoa!
doesn't always feel fair.
Champagne bottle bamboozer.
Can you believe it?
Get out of here.
I'm married.
I love the Vine art.
Sometimes
I will say.
I look at the ring on my finger and can't believe it myself. Still,
and
he treats me really well and knows all about what happened.
Oh. So in this tale, my friend, I assume that you are the character, and we're experiencing this from your perspective. Okay. I'm trying, yeah, there's emotional impact here, and I'm trying to emotionally feel it, I guess, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to place myself in the position of understanding you as a developer, because this game is obviously immensely personal. And I regret not playing it all of the way yesterday due to the sound issue, because it does take away from your game. So, I don't want to go any farther, because I believe that this should be experienced by everyone individually. And I want to change a couple of things here. So going back into this design, I want to talk about each step and what I reviewed originally and how I feel about it differently now. So obviously, soundscaping does a huge thing for the person on an emotional level. Now, me individually, I'm deaf in my right ear, almost 86% deaf. So certain tones I can't hear. So that was still difficult for me, but I was able to turn it down to a point. For me, songs, I don't listen to music in my life at all. Like, there's no free time in which I listen to music, and I know that may sound crazy to some of you, but it's because I'm deaf, right? And so it didn't happen to me until much later in my life. I had an injury that made my ear deaf. And it's self-induced, unfortunately. I'm an idiot, and we can talk about me being a dumb teenager at some other point in my life. But the reality is that happened to me, and so in that, music doesn't really have as much of an emotional impact on me. I used to be a musician too my whole life, but then after becoming deaf, it became very, very difficult to maintain tones and stuff. So if I speak outside of, like my normal flat tone, because this is comfortable to me, then sometimes it's peaks and everything. But, so because of that though, when I play games, I normally disable the game music almost 100% of the time. And so there's a lot of games where music is a big fundamental for it. And if it is that critical, I will turn it on. And so for me, I had a much different experience with this game because I was willing to turn back on the music and listen in a way that mattered. And that sucks for you as a developer, but also I feel guilty of not treating this the way it should have been treated. And so you're going to see me reverse some things, and I'm going to explain why. So let's go through this. I have a lot better feeling about this game, and I want to say from one developer to another, one person to another, thank you for sharing your story. It's obvious and it's very clear to me, and this story actually resonates with me on an emotional level as well, and that's why it's so important to feel what the developer has given you, but sometimes at the same time, you can't connect with every player, and that's just a reality of the situation. But I want to digest this a little bit differently. The fun in game design, I'm not going to touch. I feel like this is still a 4-level fun in game design. None of the game design changed based on the music factor, the audio. However, the audio does in fact need to be addressed, and I would say that 3 stars is a bare minimum for anything that achieves a full circuit of music and audio. However, I'm going to change mine to 4 stars. Because of the emotional impact that tune has. This displays a level of audio understanding, which is a skill set that I often overlook personally. And it doesn't deserve to be poorly rated based on that factor of my life. So, there is a personal bias in everything you do. And one of the things you have to do as a developer is remove you making games that are just for you. You removing obstacles that otherwise you would put in front of you. And this is a common mistake that everyone makes in development. And this is why we overlook people with marginalized demographics and why we overlook people in general, right? Out of sight, out of mind. It's not anyone's particular fault, but we can do something about that. So this is what I'm going to do about that. This audio was the game became immensely better because of that immediate factor. Being able to feel that emotional message more powerfully through the somber tone of that music does change the value of the game. I would say that graphically, it has grown on me, and I want to put it up at a 4, because now that all of that sinks in, the confusion, instability of all the scribbles makes this story so much more powerful. I think that if you would have done this in pixel art, and maybe I said this last time, I want to make sure that I think I said this last time about your game. If you had done this in pixel art, it wouldn't have impacted the way it did. The scribbles, the feelings of, when you fail like that and you're trying to write a letter and share something, people get so frustrated because they overthink it. They crumple the letter, they throw it away. You see it all the time in depictions of Hollywood, right? You see it in the movie where people are tossing away these objects because, like they can't get the script right that they're trying to say to somebody else. So yeah, I have an external audio source that I was just reading the comment from Michael there. I have to turn my audio. I have a DAW that I have to use it up to 200%. It's plugged into a special device. Headphones, I blow a pair of headphones probably every 6 months just because they can't withstand what I need, unfortunately. And earbuds don't work for me because of the tunnel factor. So I definitely hear that. Yeah, tinnitus. I have tinnitus really bad too. I've shot a lot of guns in my life without earbuds, and I feel that. But anyway, so the graphics I think actually does improve. And instead of graphics, I feel like instead the originality and the innovation is what comes through here. So I don't want to put it in graphics specifically because they are still fairly simple, but that's a perfect medium. So overall, the theme was hit, except for the 3 factors that we couldn't change, and I'm a stickler for the theme specifically. I feel like the fun and design has been the fun and design is left the same. The audio definitely is an improvement graphically. It touched me more emotionally, so therefore the originality and innovation should be increased and not the graphics. I'm trying to be very logical about how I approach this. So thank you guys for that. And I want to save this new rating. And I hope that helps a little bit in digesting your game. I'm very happy to have played it all the way through. If I played it any longer by myself, it probably would have made me tear up. So well done. It strikes me on an emotional level, and that's a personal thing. But I try to treat that. I think that originality and innovation really is an emotional rating. So it's hard to quantify that. Same with fun in game design. I feel like game design is a little bit less ambiguous, but fun is totally ambiguous. So I think in rating formats, you guys, when you're doing these things. Yeah. If you're wrong way, if your intent was to have an emotional impact, then you succeeded in what your goal was. I tell when I mentor people and I talk through a teacher perspective or a mentor perspective in my industry, I always tell people a couple of things when it comes to development. The first of all, is my top 3 things is 1, be teachable, be someone who's willing to accept failure, who you're not going to down yourself for that. You need to be teachable, be willing to listen, take criticism, that sort of stuff. First of all, yeah, it's necessary if you're going to be sharing your work, especially in the field of doing things that making games for people, for them to have fun with. That's why we make games, is to interact with people. But not every game has to be an action RPG. Not every game is made for a hardcore gamer. There's a lot of categories that people are looking for, and this is one of them actually. So if I was a developer, there's I've seen some indie studios produce some stuff. I've seen some publication companies produce stuff like this, get support through like Humble Bundle, get support through Green Man Gaming or something like that, and release a full indie title that is an emotional storyline that is something to this caliber. I feel like, if I was a publisher looking for a quirky title that I could slap onto, or I could give someone a small contract and give them some loot for people playing their game on our mini game website or something like that. This is the sort of game. I really want to encourage you, Wrongway, to go publish this on Newgrounds. I think that you would see a lot of people playing your game after this jam. Honestly, truly, and I'll be son of a goat if it doesn't work out for you, because I truly think that if you polish that up and fix those couple things and address the audio, this would be something that I would expect someone out there is looking for. Yeah, I think that something that may add a little bit of ambience to the game and creep factor maybe is sort of the put down whispers in the background. So something that while you're playing the game, maybe there's another element to it. You dig a little bit deeper in the mechanics and polish it up a little bit further. I played a game that was on the Quest, the Quest 2. It was like I wish I can know the name right now, but it had to do with like whispers, and because it's in VR, these little orbs would come down of people. Like there'd be a prompt, and you hold an orb and you speak to it and you let it go, and it becomes part of the MMO world. And there's nothing else in there except for you and these people's thoughts. And people tell you about these really emotional things because it's completely anonymous. You know what I'm saying? And so it was immensely impactful because like it hit me in a place in my life when my grandfather had died. Not only had he died, my mom didn't know about it. I found out about it first, so I had to go tell my mother, whom at that time I hadn't seen for almost a decade of my life due to personal reasons, that her father had died. And then after that, when we went to the hospital, they dropped him on the floor and I picked him up with my hands, and put him back in. And so I was in and that's a lot of detail, sorry. But it really hit me in an emotional spot, and it is an emotional thing for me. So seeing games like this that touch those hidden parts of our mind that people try to avoid is immensely emotional, immensely. And if you don't feel it, that's wild. You should probably talk. Everyone deserves therapy in their life, go talk to somebody about that. But I would expect that this is definitely a glowing game for me now. It was sort of middle ground for me before. I think that there's still lots of room for improvement, of course. But if you go to Newgrounds, polish your game up, go to Newgrounds, and release it, and I think you'll be amazed at the community feedback. It's just gonna get better publicity, of course. And I think that you'll get way more feedback in a constructive way, because those are gamers looking to game. You're part of a community that is, right now, you're facing a bunch of developers that are rating your game, and all of them secretly want to win. I refuse to rate my own game. I think that that's not a fair play mechanic. But also, I want to see these people treat everything fairly. And I think that even through all of this, you're going to have a much better time outreaching to the actual gamers that you're trying to touch. This is an amazing game jam game. Take this further. I hope you do. It's an incredible story. Thank you for sharing it with us. That'll probably be the longest deep dive anybody hears me do in a game, unless the other developers are really present and engaging with me. But that was really cool, and I hope you guys understand why I voted it this way. I put a lot of consideration into that vote. Let's move on. All right, I have some other folks that wanted to talk to us about that are here today. If you guys are here today, post your game again. Let's talk about it. Let's move on. Yeah, of course. Absolutely happy to have you present. And thank you for encouraging us to go back and make that known. Absolutely. This is definitely, so far I've been keeping tally of the games that I want to revisit at the end of all of this to make my top list. I've decided, by the way, I will be walking along it. Cool, totally. We'll do that now. I will be compiling a list of my top favorites. And I would like to interview everyone who is in my top 10 developers of this jam, and get everybody together for a conversation around what it took to build this game, what inspired you to do it, and share that with everyone through hopefully through YouTube and our other media channels. Would love to do that with everyone. And I would like to come back and I mean, right now I made a note. I'll say it publicly. I made a note about that game. I'd like to come back and visit it again. I don't know if it'll remain in my top 10, but right now it's definitely on that. All right, now we're going a short game about walking. Not only that, is your game is totally easily mobile compatible, and if you don't know how to do that wrong way, get with me and I will teach it to you, so that way you can make your game mobile supported. You'll get a lot more plays that way. Okay, I like to see the build up front. I like to see the credits. That's good for me. Awesome. This is a game about a dude walking along a path, trying to find his way home without getting held back by all the obstacles that he has to overcome. Sweet. So like an endless runner, it seems like. Endless walker. We're going to go through the walking simulation. APK, Windows, that says multi-release. That says APK. Not even I did that. That seems really like an oversight for me as well. Because the last 48 hours of the game jam, I didn't sleep a wink. I was struggling. Absolutely struggling. All right. No full screen mode. That kind of makes me upset. I like being able to go into full screen. Oh, we got leaderboards as well. Cool. Let's take a look here. One person. Yo ho! What's going on, Remy? Oh, it's in options? Cool. I think that if you're gonna do that, you should also enable it in the main settings. It's just a single click of you as a developer inside of the project settings, where it'll enable it full screen out here too. I do understand why you have it that way, but that should only be enabled for desktop. That doesn't work on mobile, right? So that won't be a compatible feature for mobile. So if I was to view this in my web browser, this would be so tiny. So tiny. I wouldn't be able to play it on my mobile. So even though you have mobile compatible, that's going to be a problem. Let's go back and double check your credits. I like the fade. Good job on the transition between fade and black. And, scrolling text even. It's probably not necessary if you're going to do a credit section. This would be better for the end of your game, like that. A flat link, because this makes people have to, like, read and watch it. But yeah. Excellent. Like to see that. Very cool. But let's get into the actual game. Okay. No, of course. I'm just saying. Sorry, I had to look at something. All right. Drink. Bar. Drink to drink. Okay. Hold on. Oh. Okay. No, I can't see my character because I got thrown out too far, my guy. And now I have no fit. Oh. All right. Wait a minute. Was there a tutorial that I missed? Hold on. Was there a tutorial that I missed? There didn't seem to be a way to go back to the main menu. Okay. Okay, so last time I got thrown over the tutorial. All right. WE 1 and 0. Oh, wait. But 1 is way over here. What? Oh, I and O. Okay. It looks like a 1. So maybe address that in the font. I could see that now being a thing. That's a very awkward position for my hands. That require yeah. Interesting. All right. All right. Let's okay, I see what you no, no, no. No, I don't want that. Get out of here. All right. All right. Okay. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this physics nonsense. I don't like physics. Oh, oh no, I fell on my face. Okay. No. We gotta alternate. Sort of. Yeah. Hiya. I am bad at this. I do not like that the tree is blocking my view. That bothers me immensely because now I can't see my legs. That's not the best choice in my opinion, but I can see why you would make that choice. We're just gonna do this. This seems to be working. I'm just gonna cheeseball it. You want a piece of this? Can't handle the truth. Oh, okay, now I'm gonna have to step over this like a goon. All right. No, this leg that goes down. That comes up. Oh no. Hiya. Hiya. Huh. Okay. Uh. 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 Oh, these are not my sort of games. I'll tell you that much. All right. We're doing the worm now. Splits. The worm splits. Okay. This is wild. I can't step over this tree. It's very difficult to do. So I'm not sure if that's by design, if I'm just bad at video games, or what is happening here. But the collision on this guy seems way too big. It won't let me pass it. Like I keep hitting it and it knocks me backwards. But now I'm having leg problems, son. Oh, no. Yeah. It won't like my foot hits it, so I can't like look, I got no traction. Look, I'm running in place, bro. Let's go. The damn tree! Get out of my way! I want to get over the log. Get. This is insane. Immensely difficult, this thing. Okay, no, I'm going backward. Dude, bro. This is not for me. I have no coordination for this. All right. Huh? Oh, yes! We did it! Ha! 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 Run! We got it. We're going. We're going. We're going. Get. Run it. Ah! I'm running in place. What? My legs are moving like a human. Why isn't it working? It's like I need to do it in sync or something. It's weird. The hopping mechanic works way better than the walking mechanic. It is ridiculously tough. I'm. This is not a game I would usually play, like at all. So I'm trying to give it an. I try. This is not good. I can't see my legs again. I don't like that. Anytime you cover the player, I think that is not a good design choice. Personally, I think that you should have an outline or something at least. You know, because not knowing what the position of your legs in, I can't coordinate now and see what I'm doing. You know, I need to get that other leg in front, but I can't. I know what I need to do because I know where my feet are just because I've been paying attention in a weird way. There we go. We're walking. Yeah. Oh, let's go! No! Oh no, not one of these things. My worst enemy! A rock! A boulder. Let's go. Alright, I'm going backwards. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Nope, you're going the wrong way, buddy. Ah, that's enough for me. That's too much for me. All right, fun in game design. I'll give it a medium because I could see how that would be fun for some people. That definitely on my personal level is more on a 2. I do feel like the joint mechanics were pretty solid overall. There is some wackiness to it, but that's kind of the nature of those games. I've seen these running games before. I used to play the original jogging one back when I was a kid. Like I remember when the very first one of these came out. Audio was kind of a 2. There's only really crickets going on. But it did add enough to the game that graphically you did do something yourself, or like all of it yourself. I think that the trees are over blocking my stuff is more of a mechanic issue. So I'll give you graphics on 3. It's I think you put work into it. That deserves some stuff. Originality, innovation, and it's going to be a 2 because all of this stuff has been done before. I didn't see any mechanics. In fact, I feel like it was kind of a little less than what's already been done, and I mean that in a friendly way, right? I'm not trying to shut you down here, but looking at the design mechanics of your game and looking at how all of that's kind of knitted together, I don't feel like there's any real innovation over the original idea. I would like to have seen a little bit of a different take on it. Like even like a crawling arm, like he's like dragging himself across the ground because he's drunk, and obviously walking makes sense too. It's impossible to walk when you're drunk, so I get the idea and the theme. I see how you try to tie it in. The original one was like a marathon runner, like somebody in the track field. So same sort of premise. Those obstacles, design, originality, you sign it in there. Theme, unstable, definitely. Junk is all get out. Mobile support. And I will give the theme, because you tied it in at personal point. So that's 1 point for following the main theme, 1 point for the mobile support, although that main menu on the mobile would make it pretty much impossible to get past. You have to have a pretty big phone to be able to network that or get into the settings and change it, because it will not go full screen automatically, which is a shame. But that is something to consider. It does technically have a leaderboard. Somebody actually completed it, but the fact that only one person has completed it is kind of a shame. And 13 people have played your game, but only one person has logged in and actually felt like they accomplished it enough to actually get to the point where they feel like it's there. So by technicality, you get it. By technicality, like you do have it in, and I will give you that. And like I said, I'll give you one extra point. Because you also, the only thing you didn't do was 3D. And maybe that could have been the mechanic that separated it from everything else, because 3D physics, right? So, yeah, and see, you have a personal investment into someone who actually completed the task. So that unfortunately get to that point. So I'll rate this like that. I think that it did better than some of the other ones, but you kind of smashed the theme on a technical level. So I'll give you that. Overall, I think it balances out to an average game, a game jam entry. Like if you actually look at all the points, I think you're one shy point. So like if it was a rounded three star, which out of 5 that's medium. So I in terms of an actual game that I would expect out of a game jam, this is exactly the sort of thing that I would expect on a personal level. So, that being said, well done. I could have seen that would have been an extra mechanic for them to add, some sort of 3D element, because then the legs have a little bit more wackiness to them, as well as moving along moving along a 2D plane. You could still do that in 3D, using more of the 2.5D style. But so this one is one of the closest to completing all of the jam requirements that I've seen so far. So on that end, good job. All right. Moving to the next one, I believe that I can never remember the name of your game, Moses. That's why. No, of course. No, I mean, it would have been difficult to do. Of course, that's the whole point of the jam, is to see if people are willing to tackle that thing, And I tackled 3D for the first time like that in 2.5D this last jam, and I fell right on my face first at the end. I had so many problems. It is I could see, yeah, it's not for me, but it is totally fun. I could see that. I found it humorous. The trees in front of me was the biggest turnoff, I think, of the entire game. Over the rock and the tree, that's obnoxious. I would slightly lower those just to make it easier for the average person to play, but that's maybe not your point. And so I got on a tangent earlier about the things I tell, the three things. uh yeah, sorry, I got distracted. I've got ADHD so bad. I was going to tell you guys the three things about like being a developer in this case, and so I'm going to jump to point number 2. Step 1 on that one again was be teachable. Step 2, in that is like when you're going through. Oh no, train of thought gone again. I'll find it again. Never mind. Whatever. I primed you guys to listen to me. Everyone's like tuning in, and then I thought about you guys listening to me, and then my brain was like, nope, stupid social anxieties. That's ridiculous. Okay, I'll find it again. We'll find it again. Make fun of me for it. It's good. You guys can do it. If Vegetato was here, he'd roast me. Right. Oh, yeah. Moses, what is the name of your game, bud? That's what I was. First of all, I want to go play your game. If anybody's here and you want me to play your game, write it in chat, please. Oh, Mark Zoid as well. You asked as well. What's the name of your game, bud? I don't. Yeah. What is your game? You got it. What's the name of your game? Oh, okay. Actually, Frisco brought back what I was thinking about. So, when even okay, developing something, I'd have to tell artists all the time, 1, be teachable. 2, don't be stubborn, because every artist use references. Professional artists use references. Don't be afraid to look at someone's code. Don't copy it, but don't be afraid to learn from other people, right? You need to be able to be, that's part of that being flexible part, right? But beyond that, the other part is actually, conveying your message, right? And what makes a good picture? I ask my mentees this all the time. What makes a good image? And a lot of people jump onto their first reaction generally is something very complicated. But the reality of what makes a good image, what makes a good picture, a conveying of information, is simply, a lot of people would say it's silhouette, it's something else. The reality is, it is, if your image, it doesn't matter if it's a 4-year-old who drew a horse or it's a professional artist who hand painted every detail possible on a horse. If I know it's a horse, then it's a horse, right? You've successfully completed your task of showing me something. If your task is to give me the most detailed horse possible, and you do it within the best of your ability, that matters, right? And so when we're doing all of this, you need to take into consideration for your own self and everybody else as well while we're going through it. You know, you have to digest this on sort of that level. Did you as a developer deliver something that is recognizable as whatever your intention was? And if it's vague, no, you missed it. If you land it right, you'll know. There'll be resonation with people, and therefore you'll get more interaction. It's a good factor. Now, sometimes you can make a perfectly polished thing and no one will even click on it because that's the rule of chaos and random. But overall, there's only some factors that you can really control, and in that one, it's just deliver the best of your ability. Making the game, anybody can make a game. No one's going to see your code at the end of the day, so if it works, it works. But then there's a level of that leveling up and being more professional and being able to refine your code into a polished sort of way or present your idea in a better way. But if you walked away from this jam and you learned something, you won. You won this jam. If you walked away and all you're doing is kicking your own butt and you're not, even if you didn't deliver all of the way in your jam, as long as you participated, you did whatever it is to the best of your ability, that's what matters. That is what matters. And every time you do that, you're going to get better and more efficient. Keep trying, keep doing, keep working. Don't let any of these ratings take you down. These are simply a person's perspective. You don't need that validation. You guys got this. The fact all of you who actually submitted something became developers. And if that's the very first thing you've ever done, congratulations, you're now an indie developer. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family, guys. Right? We're here together. We're doing this together. We're all developers here right now. For the most part, almost any person who's in here has been a part of that big jam, has been watching it from the outside. And if you participated, you're an indie developer. Walk away with your head high on that one. You've sent the message. You are a developer. At the very least, you've done that. So I'm going to leave that moment alone. All right. So, what we're going to do is, now that little pleasant talk is over, welcome to my TED Talk. I'm Alex. We're kind and friendly here. We're going to play Unstable Warrior. Now, I believe, and I could be wrong here, this is I think has audio that's outside of English in it. I think the Quran is actually being read here. And I could be wrong, but I do want to lead into that. Making sure that it is something that we're going to be talking about. If I saw the script right, because I did see you post at some point, Moses, I believe, while you're working on your game. Oh, it's a poem. Okay, so it's a poem. Got you. But is it in Arabic? I was gonna say fi Arabi. Sorry, I'm just waiting. I was waiting for that answer. Okay, cool. No, awesome. I just wanted to make sure because I will obviously I have no problem going through that, but I know that some games are based on religious premises. I just like to, I wanted to make sure if that is part of the case is represented in your script. I saw something that looked Arabic to me, and I wanted to make sure because I can't read that. Yeah, fahimt, like I don't like I there's only so much of that I could do. I could speak some Arabic, but I need to make sure everything's it is primarily an English jam. I just want to make sure that if there is other languages, uh, that it's I can't control what that says. I can't read it, so therefore I can't But if you did added a translator, awesome. I like this. It looks like an original 3D render that was then converted into pixel art, which makes me think that some of this is AI generated because of the level of shading and detail here. I could be wrong, but there's so many micro colors in the beard and everything that uh uh it does look a little AI generated. I like the credits. That's good. Unstable Warrior. Quit. Has an extra E in it, just so you know. That's all right. Level 1, level 2. That terrifies me. I don't know what's going on there. Oh.
يا فارس الوغى أتيناك بجحافلنا نحمل الدمار لمدينتك الهائمة السحرة معنا وسيوف أصحابنا نشعل الأرض بلهيب ونار قادمة اخرج سيفك الآن وواجه مصيرك فاليوم هو يوم الحرب بلا شفقة لك عاصمة إما النصر في ساح الوغى أو الهلاك والموت حتمي في معركة صارمة.
Okay. Warrior, we approach, bringing destruction to your city. Sorcerers and swords unite with us. Fire consumes the ground. Draw your sword. Today is war. No mercy. Victory or doom awaits. All right. F to dash. Good. Click. Click. Or click this. Okay, so mobile support, I could see that. I see how this is kind of the... There's a pause menu. Okay, that's what that is. I was wondering. Maybe put more of like a cogwheel or something else a little bit more up top. Just to balance that. I love that you decided to do sort of a... You used a background layer and pinned it over the entire layer so that it doesn't move. There isn't actually parallax going on here. It's movement along an axis with another image in the background. This is a simple way of doing that, and I like that you chose to do that for your jam. It makes the most sense to me. So this is a very sort of Diablo way of transferring a 3D model. So this is a 3D model using some distortion in the pixelation effect on the character, which is pretty cool. I like that you decided to do that. It gives it a very Diablo 2 look, because what they did in Diablo 2 for the isometric view... Oh, I can move down? But up is jump. Oh. Huh. Oh, there's 3 lanes. Oh, this is going to be a game where you move lanes. Okay, that makes sense. Oh. Oh, that's quicksand. Copy. Where'd my horse go? All right. Interesting. I'm sorry. I was trying to... the problem for me is that I'm trying to read the subtitles and play at the same time. Because they're up top, I have to look away from my player to be able to read anything that's going on. And I can't see down here. Subtitles are often on the bottom of the screen so that the main action in movies is always front center. And that's true in development of games. And here we are front center with your character. But you're making my eyes have to look up to be able to read anything when my player is being active down here. So design choice wise, that makes this a little difficult to navigate if I want to understand what's being said as a non-native speaker. Oh. Graphically, very interesting. I like it. I like the premise. I like that it's a poem. I'm trying to keep trying to read those texts because the translation dang it. I can't get past it because I'm keep trying to read. My body won't let me not. Okay, don't look at the words, Alex. Look at your character so you can play this game. Wait. Wasn't that guy on the bottom? Did I just get shivved from... I see. Can't I just click to attack, right? It's interesting to me that before I could just regularly click to attack, and now I have to click this, which is interesting, because it wasn't like that before. So not only now do I have to pay attention with my main hand for movement, or my offhand for movement, but now I have to click a specific button because left click no longer works as a mouse, which is a little bit more complicated on top of having to read. That is definitely a design issue. Oh. What? Okay. Okay, so any part. You cannot touch the back end of that at all. So it seems like the collision might be your horse's butt as well. I'm trying to... The whole object, maybe? Oh. Give this another shot here. There's a lot to focus on here. There's an unstable meter, but I don't know what that means. Oh. Okay. Can someone tell me what happened there? I didn't see a guy there, right? There was no guy. He was on the bottom, and I still died. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, you have to kill them. Was there a warning for that? I didn't feel like I saw any sort of warning to let me know that I needed to not... Was that the warning? Don't pass the enemies? So I actually have to charge them. Oh! Okay. I can't get past that song. Or can't get through that part. Let's see. That's actually kind of immensely difficult for me to play. The fun factor for me is between a 2 and a 5. Or like a 2, sorry, a 2 and a 5. A 2 and a 3. So like a 2.5 is what I would try to say. Game design wise, fairly interesting. Sure, I'll give... That's fair. You had 2 levels. Hello. Launch the game, please. Launch game. There, go to here. Okay, we have a boss battle. Nauseous. All right. You like that? All right. I'm seeing more of the instability. I feel like you try to force stability in 2 different sections just to make sure you covered this instability. It may not have been necessary in the translation, but that's just my gut reaction. This doesn't feel like it's getting harder. I just feel like I'm just murdering dudes in the middle of the map. I have to kill 50 of these guys? Oh, Lord. Come on, game. Fight me faster. Hey, Raphael. Ow. Oh. I turned around on accident. Interesting. F to dash. I keep forgetting I can dash. You taught me that at the beginning of the game, but that it wasn't relevant to the first level, so I felt like, I was like, wait, why can't I even dash if I can't do anything about it? Yeah, I feel similar to as I did before on this one. And so here's how we're going to digest this. So fun and game mechanics, I'll put it up to a 3 because you have a little bit more going on. I do like the sword attacking. That was pretty cool. I will play that little destroyer. I have one other game to play before that, but I will. The audio on this one, I feel like there's more of an impact for people of the native culture. And so for that, I'll recognize that the audio is designed for somebody else. Otherwise, for me, it would be a 2. There's lots of sound effects, so I'll give that a solid 3. The graphics, they were presented as models that were part of the credits. Oh, you did all the art? Hey, what's going on, Jerfix? My question is about the art. Did you design all the 3D models? And then export them into that 2.5 or into that perspective, or how did you make the models? That's my question. it seems a little ambiguous because it looks a little like either AI generated or you used another model and then converted the art, and then you're saying that you did the art. So I'm not trying to prod at you. I'm just trying to figure out how you're involved in that, because your representation matters. Like how you represent yourself in this, what you're saying and everything to everyone else does matter. It's Blender. You did the whole thing in Blender. It looks pretty good. That's why I was like, I was kind of taken back, because it feels like there's for me, right, as a person who's playing this game, there's a quality differential between the assets and the player and the horse. Like there's like this 2-part difference. It feels like they were done by 2 different people. That's why I was asking. That's just my artistry brain speaking aloud, but that's pretty cool. I like that the graphics are what they are, innovative and original. The art makes it original, innovative. It's kind of a runner, a typical style of runner with an end piece. Originality, theme wise, it technically is unstable. Let's see, unstable, that was definitely presented. Mobile support was definitely represented more than desktop, actually. 3D is technical. Leaderboards, there was not any. A personal star for me, yeah. I think that this is slightly above average. So, and the reason is, I think it's where you failed to deliver on this one for me is in mechanics and design, right? So yeah, I'm kind of thinking in my head about everything here and the way I've rated everything else and trying to be fair and consistent. I feel like theme wise, you landed it fairly well. Originality, innovation is still kind of teetering here, but for me, if anything, I think that actually for me that is subpar. But I think that and so I'm pretty confident with this. For me, in my perspective at looking at this, right? Of course, one thing I also like to remind people in this is I'm using my professional opinion, not so much, and I feel like something that, it's not just based on my favor, right? I have a lot more emotional connection to the idea that this person made it all themselves and that they hand did all of that. Also, my Steam is open. It shouldn't be open. Someone's gonna say something crass to me because they always do. So anyways, so in that design, I feel like what I was gonna say is that one thing to keep in mind in all of this is no one will ever feel the emotional impact you had in, like, just because you created a business, no one's going to feel the same emotional impact that you do about your business, right? You're always going to care more about that. So as a developer, as someone who puts an effort into anything, there's always that level of personal bias, again, about what you create. And so I'll never have that connection with them about the game that they made, because I didn't see the sweat equity or the challenge of that creation. Instead, I only get to see the final product, and that's what I'm looking at today. And so I feel that overall, I mean, animation, because of all the entries and how many people are submitting these things, and also not properly crediting, and also crediting, and there's a big differential between, like, how do you judge all these things that are in someone's game? Do I have to weigh more into knowing that most of these people did go out and get free assets and probably, didn't credit right, or they did credit right, it's somewhere else, but at what point were they involved in that part? And it's kind of a fine line. And how do you define that? I have to just look at the base game as it is, and that's the firm, fair, consistent. And unfortunately, it takes away from people like this who did actually do everything themselves. But overall, I feel like even the graphics and its presentation and everything were a lot of things. The overall cohesiveness is pretty apparent. The setting's apparent. So for that, I think it's a pretty medium entry. This is and that, for me, that's actually a good thing. I know it may come across as flat, but that's like, for me, this would be a perfect score in terms of did this game succeed in its job? Medium is yes. For me, that's a, it's just shy of a B. There's A plus, there's A, there's B. Removing the A plus is really, A pluses are like my top 10. So other than that, for me, there's A's and B's and C's, D's, and F's. And so far, this one for me is a high C. It's getting towards B. And so, and that's just overall time. You got 9 days to present a game. Is it presented? Yeah, it is. This wins. You know? I would encourage more people to play this. Out of 30 people, I'm sure that there's tons of people that have really impactful comments about what they have to say about the game. Read into that. All right. Another one that I said I would play. I got some people messaging me on Discord who doesn't have YouTube stuff. And I will play that. Yeah. 3 out of 5 overall rounded score, and that's just one person, man. You know? Okay, I'm gonna be playing next one is a fairy tale. I promised somebody I'd do that. Right? A fairy tale? A fairy tale is one word, duh. There it is. Maybe a fairy tale. Okay. Let's see here. All right, a narrative game, but you're weird. Oh, that's my life. Let's go. 3 hours before the end of the game jam. Okay, kind of works on phone. Okay, I'm gonna have to take that at face value. Yeah, weird. Yes, we are. All right. Not a whole lot. There's no credits going on here. There's no link to Gdevelop, which is a requirement for the game jam, guys. So if this is not released on Gdevelop right now, oh, links, there it is. I lied. Shut up, Alex. It's all the way in the bottom. I would also put it up here just to make it convenient. I forgot about this, and most of these I hide unless I don't see enough information. So that's good to know. So my bad. I'll withdraw the statement of it's a requirement. There you go. Welcome to this narrative game. Please click when the cursor, it looks like a pine tree, is on the button you want, and click anywhere to pass to the next text. Okay. Let's go. I'm invested. That's a little loud. Achievements. Wake up. Oh. Oh. Huh. Interesting. That was an interesting mechanic. I wasn't sure what was going on there. Oh, don't kill him! I'm gonna hug this guy. You like that? I hugged you. I don't know if those words were supposed to be bouncing around. Oh my goodness. Okay, that made me wheeze. That was interesting. I'm not gonna play it again for the game jam. Just because if you guys want to test it out and see the 6 different endings, you should see it yourself. That was interesting mechanics overall. For a game jam game, definitely taking a different approach on some of the stuff that I would have thought. That's a very interesting interpretation. I'll tell you that. Let's look at this. Game design and fun. You know, honestly, in this one, it was funny. Yes, funny. But that, for me, is originality, innovation. Is it fun? That is a complicated question for me. Is it fun? It made me laugh, but again, that's funny. The bouncing of the text was a little different than I expected. I liked the mechanic. I really did like the mechanic. I thought that was very interesting. Let me Sorry. Sorry. So was it fun? The bouncing mechanics of the boxes was very interesting. The text not being inside of the boxes made that a little bit more difficult. Is it unbalanced? That does fit the theme of the game. I don't know if it's intentional or potentially a little bit of a developer jank that they decided to just keep in because it was convenient to do. But I do feel like that partially took away from my fun. Game design wise, there was a very interesting take, so I'll give it a 3 because I had a debate with myself about it. Music wise, the audio is kind of a low point for me overall. There was only really the soundtrack. I didn't feel immersed in it very much, and the artist, of course, it was just a very yeah, I would say I'll give audio a 2 on that one because it did fit for me. Graphics wise, everything was done by themselves. You can clearly tell that. And I think that effort actually puts you just slightly above average on the graphics because there was so much attention. I feel like it was pretty cohesive in the art. There was obviously other art that we didn't get to see, but the shading and character design is all there. So that's multiple characters, multiple designs. That's a lot more work than most people consider. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I said the same thing about the animation sequence for the 3D developer, and that is that animations are difficult to do. And is that part of the graphics? Some would argue that it is or isn't. That would be game design in my mind, but graphics wise, we're gonna go with a medium 3. Originality and innovation, we're gonna go with a 3 because again, I feel like there was some funny elements in this that really made me laugh. The originality I thought was there. The creativity of that unstableness was interestingly interpreted. The theme was present. There's mobile design, and you're going to get 1 bonus from me. There wasn't any 3D, and there wasn't any leaderboards. So for me, this is slightly below. It's right at the medium line. I think this is a comfortable medium. Okay, we dropped down a little bit, but I feel like overall we're not missing anything. Like I feel, I didn't play all the 6 levels. Maybe that would change my perspective here, but I do feel like for a game jam entry, wherever you are, this is about medium. This is a medium indie developer, a novice sort of level, which is like that makes sense, right? Amateur, we're all amateurs, right? At least in this sort of perspective. And so for me, this is a solid. If you get below this, I'd be concerned. For most people, I would say, hey, you got some more studying you need to do. You need to go back. I really like that this person displayed their interest in Gdevelop. I really appreciate that they spent the time reviewing and trying to create something that you can see their written talent, the ideation. They did all of it themselves according to their credits. So, oh hey, well, welcome in, music and art. I did get your message, and I will be covering that. I just didn't have time to message you back. So that's what I think about this one. It's worth playing. It's worth playing. It was crazy. It was funny. So I think that without that level of humor that caught me off guard immediately in the animation, this might be a little bit lower. I feel like there's probably way other funnier based on that. So I feel like maybe I'll actually go up. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go up 1 on the originality, and we're going to resubmit this. And that gives you a perfectly medium score on average. Because in terms of originality, I didn't play all the rest of them, but I know based on the writing format, they're probably just as ridiculous. And that is worth the extra innovation and originality for me. So hopefully that helps that person. It's worth the play. Going on next into the next one. There was a couple of other requests. I want to make sure that I get them all. Tellerand is on my to-do list. That little destroyer is the next one on the list. All right. So originally, when I first saw the theme, I imagined a lot of people were going to do a Happy Bird sort of creation, and I was very surprised that I haven't seen very many of them up to this point. But yeah, so very, very interesting there. Let's get into this. This kind of gives me that balancing vibe from those girds. from the tongue twister there. All right. Okay, puzzle strategy, cool. I'm not gonna look at that. Actually, I don't care what is on the internet. Gotta look away from it. Makes me dizzy. Oh, all right, that's pretty loud. Even with my audio turned all the way down, that's very loud. Swipe or tap any direction. Oh, okay. Unstable merge game. Looking forward to looking at that. I like merge games. Oh. I wonder if like one wall is weaker than the other. Otherwise, you have to get a lot of force and momentum. I could see this being an issue for people with mobility issues, but that's okay. I feel like the player should have a little bit more physical weight. Also, this is watch Alex struggle at playing video games. Let me have the crown, please. Thank you. Oh. Okay, that was the tutorial level. I see. I like the inclusion of all of that. That's cool. Where we gotta go? Boom! Oh, I did no damage to that thing. Let's land right here. Oh. Whoa! I like being stuck. There we go. Okay, we're gonna have to do some major work over here, boys. Whee! Hiya! Oh, I almost got that off that momentum. Oh no! No! Wrong way! Wrong way! No! Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Oh, it didn't want me to cheat. Okay. I might have gone way too far originally. I'm trying to use the momentum. It's a little not accurate when you start going too fast. The tracing of that line gets a little cattywampus. And there's no like momentum meter, so it's hard to tell exactly how fast I'm going. I would like to see maybe some visual effects that says, hey, by the way, my guy, you're going uber fast. Lines or something. No, I'm gonna get stuck in here for the rest of my life. Oh no. All right. I feel like this is what we're gonna be dealing with though for the rest of the game, which is fine. I feel like I have a good grasp at what this game's trying to do, what it is doing, and how I'm trying to break it. Get out of the way! Pew! Sound is really good in this game, though, I'll tell you what. That's a good highlight for me right now. I know I've been criticizing everything, but that's kind of my job right now. Yeah, okay. That's good enough for me. I mean, some of these titles don't need as much detail or depth because the concept is fairly straightforward, fairly simple, right? So overall, in my perspective, in this one, as we're reviewing this, right, we had a day left before the jam, maybe some more time for some polish. I would have liked to see, with that extra time you had, you focusing on trying to do a little bit more art. I think it would have been really nice to see. I mean, maybe that the simplicity of all of that is your intention. Maybe you don't feel like you're a good artist. But I feel like that's the point where this game lacks in some of its game feel. I feel like the camera could be zoomed out just a little bit more, but that's like gameplay, fun, and design. Overall, it's a traditional game that we already have come to learn and understand. It's good. It's great that you demaked something that's already sort of exists, you know? So that's clever. Play that 2-button 3D game again. You want me to play the you're talking about yesterday's video. That game was hard, man. It made me legitimately sweat. That one. Okay, so looking at this, let's take a peep here. Fun and game design. Let's say for fun and game design, I'll put it at a medium. I feel like that it was there. It was present. It was due. Audio was actually pretty good. I would say it's pretty standard, actually above standard for the jam itself. So I think that's solid. Graphics wise is probably a weak point for me. Originality is a really weak point for me. Unfortunately. This has all been done. I would have liked to see some innovation over what has been done. Overall theme, this works. It's a base game. It follows unstable, of course. It is mobile friendly, and of course, for me, it gets a bonus for using that theme to the maximum. There's no leaderboards and there's no 3D. I think it's all 2D physics. It looks 2D physics to me, so I could be wrong, but it looks like it's 2D physics. You can see the hitboxes here in the picture. So, yeah. That's a classic take on a classic style. I'll give it that. You got rated. Overall, if you look at the score, it averages out about a medium score as well, just slightly under. Just because I would like to have seen a little bit of originality in this innovation. This is a physics to collect sort of thing, so that it is what it is. Don't give up. That was awesome. You did what you tried to do. You sold that style. So that's what matters, right? We also have one more before Unstable Merge, and that was done Tellerand, I believe is the game's title. Yeah. Okay. So I have to say, out of all of the games that I've seen so far, this one has the most professional looking thumbnail. Like, yeah, absolutely. Probably hands down the most professional looking thumbnail. If I was scrolling through Steam, I would be looking at that. So, well done. I don't know how you generated it or what you made it with. I don't even know if, it could even have AI stuff a part of it. But whatever. In that case, you nailed that look, and I'm guessing that none of it is AI generated. Based on some of the looks that I'm seeing here. So, very professional in that regard. I have been a part of teams that have looked over worse games. Far worse games. Far worse looking games. So before I've even clicked on the game, impressed. What this game reminds me of already, before I even look at it, okay, now I'm interested. You caught my attention. So I want to say right out of the gate, as someone who's worked in the industry, this is really sharp. This is incredibly sharp. Professional level. Impressive. Absolutely impressive for an indie developer. It looks like you're the only person who worked on this project 3 days and 20 hours before the deadline with that much polish. Super, super impressive from somebody who works in publishing, who writes game reviews for a living, who has done all of these articles and stuff. This is something that I would expect on Steam. So let that carry the weight. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want there to be any doubt in anyone's mind. You say that there was no AI used in it. I believe that. I could definitely see this being done by a person in that time frame. Absolutely. There's nothing in here that's like the thing is the consistency. When I look at other people's art and it makes me think AI, it's because I have personal experience. I use AI in my staple as a tool for writing because I have dyslexia, as a tool in my office for helping refine some of my contracts. I use it that way. And I went on a journey to figure out how can people use this art to take away from my job? I'm an artist, right? I'm a pixel artist too, and that's my job. I don't want an AI to replace me. And so I've been trying to use all these tools to try to figure out how easy and accessible is it. And it's not as easy and accessible as you would think. It does take some talent even to be able to use these things. So it is actually kind of its own art to rip people off in that way, which is that's crap to say. But the reality is that is it. But when you see something consistent like that, you know, without a doubt, unless you fine tune a model to like the utmost proportions, this has to be done by a physical person. That's my personal experience coming into play. And maybe I'm wrong on that, but I've done the research myself to be able to have this argument. So, very, very professional. It reminds me of the game that's on Gdevelop now. Let's go look at that real fast. Right in the front of Gdevelop is that sci-fi. Where is that? I'm gonna find it because I think this is important. The artistry level reminds me of another game that I think was done in a jam, if I remember right. It should be on the downloads page. People get promoted all the time, so there's different stuff up here. That's interesting. A lot of these are promoted right now. People have paid for them to be up on the front page, which is cool. I think that's interesting, but I don't want to see that. This one. Oh no, there's a broken picture there. I'm going to send that to Gdevelop. They need to know that. That is a broken image on the website. So we're going to fix that. This one. By Barely Apes. I just want to say, from first perspective, this is what your game looks like to me, from an outside perspective, before I've even clicked on anything. Now, of course, I don't expect anything like this right now. We're going to skip that because if you guys want to check it out, you should check this out on the Gdevelop Game Store. But out at the very beginning, your game's artistry level reminds me of this. This is beautiful. This is, this is a lot of polish going into this and a lot of people doing hard work, and you can tell and put that forward. So to see something like that come through in a game jam is incredible to me. So yeah, high praise before I even got started. Let's hope that the game doesn't let me down, because then I'm gonna roast you. No, I was kidding. I love this. Cool. Music, art, design, you did the whole thing. Awesome. It's your first game jam. Get out of here. Get out of here. What? That's a visual novel. Cool. I don't have the time to play all of that today, so we're gonna that's just the way that goes, but that's okay. I like that there's a full tutorial. My ears. Something to consider is that the bass volume level on Gdevelop is way too loud. I gotta turn this down all the way on my actual headphones. You guys can't hear the difference when I turn it up and down, but it does. That sets off my tinnitus really bad. And so just make sure that you don't overdo that music in the very beginning. But that's a disability issue. Again, that's what my specialty is. That's what I talk about a lot. So from user experience, that's a little rough, but it's a very early start. I don't want that to... Okay, we have a little tutorial kind of telling us what we have to do here. Version 1.0.1 is... bold. That's a bold statement. 0.0.1 maybe. Hold on. Very clean. I like that you were transitioning in a tween and then I think you interrupted the tween and immediately went to another spot before showing the camera during that camera move. Either that or you did the tween and then once it was done immediately did the next tween. That was very clean. But because of the way it's looping, it makes me feel like you use the tween progression and then at like 75, 85%, you then moved it and changed the tween location, which was very cool. That's how I would have done it in the engine. I don't know if that's how you did it, but as a developer, that was really cool to see. And again, we do it again over here. Good polish on that one. Credits were already handled. I like this. Really, Tobias went extra on their presentation here. Very professional. Rim of the plate. I like that you're on like a petri dish. That was really cool. Symbolism in this game is pretty intense. So we have get to the destination and scan it. We're investigating something. Oh, okay. So already I can see the mobile interface coming through. That's super funny. We're not moving actually in the game scene. There is just an animation that is done when you press go, and then we have parallaxing. Very good on the parallaxing, by the way. Very awesome. I love the mobile setup. Find the center. Okay. Find the truth. I wasn't reading all of that, and I should have been because I was talking. And then a tweening ice wall. Okay. Click or tap to continue. Great. You have enough evidence thanks to your years of research. All other steps have already been prepared. We definitely need to fly to the sun soon and find out the reasons for the climate changes. Go back to your facility. Okay. Very cool. Chapter 2 preparation. Okay, yeah, so in total 7 minutes I could definitely capture that in this time. Absolutely. This is your facility terminal. Wait for available communication. Click on every category. All right, so here's the mission. The sun is dying. Find out the reason. Get a crew, get a spacecraft, fly to the sun and scan it. The mission is already financed by the world government. Okay, crew. Scientist, code name 167965. The leader of the research team of the Antarctic facility. Dyslexia did me dirty there. Years of experience analyzing the sun in contact with the world government. Okay. Crew member not available at the moment. We don't have any. The comm center. Click to tap to communicate. Satellite. Okay. Tap to communicate on what? We must not have that yet. Hangar. We don't have anything going on there. Okay, so now we have an ability. I see. It told me what to do. I think there could have been a little bit more guidance in that overall for end polish, but overall, that's really little to complain about. Thank you for funding us to research and fix. Yeah. They're paying us to save the world, guys. I believe it. All right, so we did the thing. Crew's not available. New. Pilot code name 371142. I feel like I'm John 117 right now. I'm Master Chief, y'all. Master Chief. 14 years of flight experience, Earth orbit, various aircrafts from jets to spaceships. He never visited other planets, but he has all of this great experience. Wow, chef's kiss. 361, 364. I feel like there's just like either these are intentional and there's some extra meaning there, or if it's just randomized numbers. I can't quite tell. He'll maintain the spaceship, 7 years of experience, Earth orbit, and here we have the doctor. Engineer, pilot, scientist, doctor, okay. Oh, I didn't get to read all that before you told me that my job was done. I'll take care of the health. Okay. Okay. They are the best of the best. I feel like I'm getting talked to by a sergeant. All right, Marines. Don't go too close to the sun. Otherwise, it can be destroyed. Oh. Wait, what? Must be talking about the thing. Wait for the ship to arrive. Let's go to the hangar. Gonna wait an hour. Oh, anonymous call. Get in contact. Comm center. Let's go. Not start this. I recommend you should not start this. I could hear like in my head, could hear the static or something, you know? Having some extra features. I'd love to hear this voice acted. That would be amazing. And polished, of course. But I think that would really add to the element of this game in the storytelling perspective. Just because also reading is a hassle for some people. Lots of text, so it does help to have someone read to you. Of course. Yeah. No, of course. And that's just the final polish thing. I'm not going to take that in consideration against you. This is excellently done for what it is. I'm very curious to see your dialogue tree. I'm wondering if you did variables for dialogues or if you try to use yarn. I don't feel like yarn is being used here, and that's why. I don't feel like you're using yarn at all, but I could be wrong. But that conversational dialogue tree is probably huge. Very cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, okay. I thought so. It's very interesting with okay. I don't wish you luck. You should be... What? I should not have to wish you luck. You are the pilot. That does not give me hope for our mission when you're like, wish me luck. Later, guys. Who's driving the ship? Who's doing that? Oh, no. All right. Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. That is interesting. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, do I just hold it? Oh, okay. That was a little strange, but I like the lorem ipsum and then just random face bashing. Hold on. That's funny. Like design wise, hilarious. As a choice, great. It's lorem ipsum and then like That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm a developer, man. I'm a web programmer first. Web developer. React, JavaScript, Tailwind, CSS, that sort of stuff. With the lorem ipsum and then the random face bashing on the keyboard. 10 out of 10, guy. Comedy's on point. I'm working on it. Confirmed. All communication systems are down. Do something. We need to communicate with the Earth. That's weird. With Earth would probably be fine. We could, if we still if we still had coffee, something. This is not the time for jokes. It seems that the ship's AI has been. Well, pilot, are you sure that you're in control of the ship? No, I'm not sure at all. He said that he needed a vote of confidence. I just. We're getting too close. Oh no, Mayday! Ship's AI, the world's government wishes you a pleasant flight. Nah, that looked like an alien in the background. It's not AI, it's a invader, another worldly. We never should have trusted the government. No, no, duh. Yeah. I'm not like a conspiracy person, but what? You think that all these politicians have your best interest at heart? Yeah, freaking right, bro. Yeah, right. Jokes. Oh, it's a light bulb? Revelation, we're lost in space. We bounced off the fucking light bulb. Survival chance 0%. Hostile environment. Signature of mobile artificial forces detected. What kind of conspiracy is this? I like anytime I see a space guy, he's a space redneck. This all cannot be true. I'm too weak. Oh, it was them. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, good. Oh, I'm gonna get probed. Ah, I'm gonna get probed. Mind blown. Wait, hold on. That should have been a dead giveaway. Mind blown. Wait a minute. Well done. Well done. The humor was on point. I had a great time playing it. The level of polish on this puts 99.9% of us to literal shame. Literal shame. Your first game jam? How long have you been developing games, though? Let's talk about that. I would love to discuss that at some point with you and learn about your process and how you went about this. So you guys know, if anyone's interested, if you're in my top 10, I will be inviting you on to a YouTube podcast sort of thing where I'd like to interview all of you about this. And I'm going to say already, there is without a doubt this is going to be in my top 10. There's no way that this is losing out of my top 10 list. The absolute artistry in this, the amount of polish in it, 3 days and 20 hours before the jam, I barely got it to, your second game with Gdevelop. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious at how many things you brought over from the past, or what, if it was from the ground up, I'm very interested in having that documented conversation, because I'm sure lots of developers would be very, very interested in your process, and I'd love to talk to you about it personally, from not only from a Gdevelop perspective, but as a community advocate and also as a creator myself. So I hope you'd consider it and having a conversation with me after all of these games have been reviewed, because I'm very interested in picking your brain and asking you those developer questions from a publisher's perspective. This is absolutely a masterpiece in my mind. And that's really high praise for me, right? I've been very critical about a lot of systems. This caught me completely off guard in terms of the professional quality of it. And so that exceeded all of my expectations, which is wild to me. I haven't really been struck by a title so far that really, there's been 2 other games that really stood out to me in terms of wow factor. This definitely, from end polish, your screenshots, it puts my work to shame. And I released my game hours before the project was done. We had so many bugs and so many issues using 2.5D and engine glitches and things that I never expected from the engine, even though I've been using it for 3 years. And like, that was my first game jam, like actual release. It was this time, because normally I'm part of design sprint teams and we do other things like this, but not exactly the same, right? And so, even as a working industry, it shows that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. Wow. This is cool. I think you should self-publish. Absolutely amazing. I would love to see this taken farther. You know, it is a short story. It's amazing. Release it for free on Steam. Get it out there to new grounds. Let people play this game. This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Fun in game design. It's a maximum for me. 5 stars. Absolutely. Audio. It was very environmental. The music played really well. There could have been, you know, again, maybe some more voice acting and stuff. So that one, obviously, you ran out of time. You didn't have time for that. Maybe you don't have the connections for that. I would encourage you to come pop into my Discord server. I'm a voice actor and have other voice actors and actresses that are always interested in reviewing the stuff and being a part of these sort of projects for portfolio reasons and also just because they want to be involved in the industry. So I would recommend, if you're looking for that sort of stuff, come join the community, come talk to the people that can work with you on that, or at least help give you some direction if you don't know. This isn't, by the way, this is just my HyperX Quadcast. My multi-$100 microphone is in my studio in my room. So, yeah, self-composed. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a winner for me, dude. I would say if there was a little more audio, you would have blown that completely out of the water. Graphics, maximum for me. Innovation, maximum for me. I didn't see 3D, and I think that puts you at slightly below the completion of everything. I could be wrong. Let me know if there is 3D and I missed it. But I don't think that there is. Mobile support is clearly evident. Oh, leaderboards aren't there either. This is a really technical point for me. I think that I would feel better if I did it this way. I will give you credit. All of the audio is done by yourself. That is an incredible workload, my friend. I am so impressed with one person, even though, like if you look at the story, it's a lot of scenes and animation and stuff. The end polish on this is fantastic. 3 days and 20 hours, almost 4 days. Almost 4 days before the end. Are we sure that this is all made in, that's the thing that makes me question. But the professionalism of the pictures, the polish, the presentation, the ending it blew my mind. That was really well done. Yeah, I bet it was. You're clearly an efficient developer. I really like your work. I would love to see more come out of you. Yeah, no, and that's totally great. I feel like this is a well-rounded. Yeah, this is a must-play for everyone. Absolutely best score I've given so far. Very impressed on a professional, personal level. Very impressed. I would give you maximum stars if this was a personal reward. If this game, even though I really don't like story-based things, but the way that you put it together, the writing was clever, the design was super impressive. You have a really good command of the tweening idea. You understand how the engine works and camera movement. That's a challenge in its own right. I struggle with that. And again, I've been using the system for 3 years. So, wow. Tobias, what a winner. Everyone. And with that, actually, we're going to end today's video at the 2-hour mark at this gym. I really enjoyed being able to play through the games that I did today. I feel like this is a wonderful place for us to leave off on for tomorrow's video. I know that we only have a few days left on the Game Jam, so tomorrow I'll be diving in and playing for hours tomorrow. Hours. So we'll be doing a 5 to 8 hour stream tomorrow to cover most of the content. Because again, I barely rated 5 games. It's been 2 hours. It's going to take me a long time. And honestly, I will be very impressed if I make it through every single one of them, which is unfortunate. I'm going to have to play a lot of these on my free time and rate them if I'm going to be able to truly bust through it. But to analyze everything, I want every person who wants the opportunity to have my perspective heard. It's just a perspective, but if you know other developers that would be interested in this, let them know. Invite them here. And because I want to play your guys' games, but you need to voice yourself. You need to stand up for yourself in this one because time is running out and I may not be able to cover everything. So if you want to make sure your game is covered, say something in the comment section below after the video. Mark Zoe, did I not play your game? I thought I did. If I didn't, I will actually do that now before I get off. Promise. I thought I did. I do remember you asking. I thought I did. Okay. All right. Give me that one more time, buddy. All right. We will leave off one more after it's bias. Yeah. You know, I don't envy that situation because, right, being judged after something like that can be brutal. If you want to wait for another day, you totally can. But it's not, I'm going to do my, obviously, I'm not judging it in that sort of way. I don't want such a high, like, such a, I'm just, prepare yourself, you know? Yeah. What's your game's name again? Oh, and then Unstable Merge as well, actually. Okay. Okay. If you can wait, let's wait for that for tomorrow. And that way we leave off on a point where I'm gonna copy that down now. Okay. And I'm putting it into my notepad right now. Angela Can Fix It will be the first game I review tomorrow. So that way you don't line yourself up to get slapped unintentionally. I don't want that to come out, like I don't want people to be like, oh yeah, that's great. We left off on such a positive note, and then all of a sudden you're like, your game is presented right after that. That seems unfair. It to some degree. You don't want to be that guy. That sucks. I've been there before. And then Unstable Merge as well is what I want to do. Raphael, I was going to ask you, I want you to also have this choice. I will do it now because I told you I would. I'm a man of my word. I will do it now, but for the same reasons, I want you to have the same opportunity. No, that's okay. If you're not a competitive person, we can do it now, or whatever. I just want to make sure that your game gives the best presentation that it gets. And again, if it, not to say that it is under that value, it's going to be hard. That's the best score I've given, and I don't want anybody to leave off on that video like, we followed the best game that he's given so far by whatever score you get. That is not a fair comparison of your talent or skill. I feel like a day refresher or a little bit away, I may come back later this evening, would be an opportunity for us to pick that back up out of fairness. I'm trying to be considerate of everyone's game. I can. I will add Zlip. No, don't worry about it, Whisper. I will add it tomorrow on tomorrow's game list as well. So tomorrow's games are Angela Can Fix It, Unstable Merge, and Zlip right away. And then we'll go into the random ones unless more people show up. So that's the end of my 2-hour stream today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. I am looking forward to continuing to review all of your guys' games. There was lots of laughs. I had a genuinely good time. Remember, everyone, thank you for your submissions. You are indie developers, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy game making.